Okay, let's take a moment to take a deep breath in, slow breath out. Remember to sit comfortably, however you'd like to have your legs, right? There's so many ways to hold your legs. You could, from sitting in a chair to sitting on a floor, to crisscrossing your ankles, to some kind of a lotus posture. The main focus is what we do with our spine, and we want to have a long spine, tall spine, but not a tight spine. So the shoulders are relaxed. The mid back is pressed forward just a little bit, and the low back is relaxed. The arms rest either on the knees, the hands can rest on the knees or in the lap in some way. The eyes can be opened or closed for this. Either way is fine. If you have your eyes open, then have them, I suggest having them focused downward and being aware of the peripheral vision. This is a meditation on the what we call the 5 skandhas, or the 5 heaps. These 5 skandhas is what the Buddha considered made up a human being. Form, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. And when these 5 are in alignment, you have a human being. When they are in disarray, you no longer have a human being. We disappear. That's one way to think of it. And so let's begin. Let's begin by putting our attention on form. Form has to do with the physical body, becoming aware of the physical body. And at the same time, let's root ourselves in our breathing. So we have our attention based both in the breath and the physical body. Keep the attention a relaxed attention, so there's no force necessary with this. Try not to overexert your attention or your mind, but see if you can bring a relaxed awareness to both your breathing, the process of breathing, as well as the physical body as a whole. And I'll ring the bell to begin this guided meditation on form. And then bringing awareness to the skandha of feeling, feeling. And feeling is just noticing contact between the body and its object. So it could be the feeling of the legs making contact with the ground, or the feeling of the body against your clothing. Any sensation that arises there, whether it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Whatever sensation might be arising within this body, heart, mind complex that is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Continue to maintain awareness of the in and out breath simultaneously with the skandha of feeling. And now let's, if you'd like, begin investigating perception. Perceptions. We have a feeling and then we notice whether we like it or don't like it, whether it's good or bad, whether we want to continue it or not continue it. We have a perception of our experience before acting upon it. Notice your perception. See if you can bring a mirror-like awareness to that perception, whatever it might be. Again, maintain awareness of the breath and shift now to perception. Building on perceptions is mental formations. Maybe we consider these thoughts or inclinations of this body, heart, and mind. Our thoughts build on our perceptions. We perceive things as happening in a certain manner, in a certain way, and then we have thoughts about them, a story that builds on those perceptions. Notice how the mind likes to create stories. You might consider how your mind is operating in this moment, or you might consider the past in which you noticed now in the present how your mind created a whole scenario, a whole set of stories around a particular perception. allow your attention to go to your mental formations, either of the present moment or of the past. Again, maintaining awareness of breath. And lastly is the skandha of consciousness. Consciousness is that sense of a separate self forming out of thoughts, out of the thoughts that we create. We come to identify an I, a self. In the process of perceptions and mental formations, we believe we exist. This comes in part from consciousness. We see a self that observes. And of course, the Buddha said there is no self. There is no such thing as a self. There is awareness of differences, though. See if you can turn your awareness to a sense of self as it arises in your awareness, a sense of self. The comparative mind creates a story about what it's perceiving and begins to develop a sense of self, an I. Again, maintaining awareness of breathing. So this guided meditation, now again, feel free to sit comfortably as you wish, but I find this kind of a guided meditation can be helpful first when we're having a particularly difficult situation, maybe some emotional turmoil. I had an example of this just yesterday with somebody I dearly love, and they were really acting up, and it triggered in me so much anger. And if I wasn't mindful of what was happening and how that person, how I was being myself triggered, I would have blamed the other person for what they were doing, as opposed to realizing, oh, wait a minute, there's something in me that needs to be investigated, and the problem isn't them, and the problem is not me. The issue isn't going to be resolved by me trying to control the other person. And but it was not easy to do in the moment, because there was such this rumbling of the emotions through the heart mind. But I found today, because thankfully I didn't have a reaction to it, not because I wasn't having an internal reaction, but I didn't stay in the same space as the other person, but went into another space and just took time to just look. And I wasn't calm, but I knew mentally that if I were to react, it would have been out of a bad place, and it would make the situation much worse. And that proved to be a good strategy for me in this particular situation. So we can use this meditation to help deflect our inclinations towards certain behaviors, and just to look and say, oh, is my perception correct? Right? We can become curious about our perceptions. Is what I'm seeing here correct? Is what I'm seeing in the other person correct? Am I aware even of what's going on internally? What's going on? How am I being? What's happening to me that I'm responding in this way? This is going to be especially useful during the holidays. Okay. All right. Thank you.